Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value.
This is the breaking basketball story that has sent shockwaves across the entire sports world. What you are about to hear sounds almost impossible, but the claims surrounding Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever have created a storm that nobody can ignore. After weeks of growing tension and non-stop debate over her role, a stunning report is now circulating that could completely change the future of women's basketball. According to the reports being discussed, Caitlin Clark may have reached the point where she is no longer willing to accept the situation surrounding her in Indiana.
What were you thinking when it came to how you started this game?
Mind you, this is a part of coaching. The whole first 3 quarters, Aaliyah Boston was basically playing point guard. Jonquel Jones was tearing her ass up the whole first half. You know why? Jonquel Jones was actually playing center. She was posting up, getting busy in the paint. Meanwhile, Aaliyah Boston was hubbing around the 3-point line, bringing the ball up the court more than Caitlin Clark. Take a listen to Jonquel Jones.
I was thinking that I really wanted to.
I was like, who's talking right now?
Jackie.
You're being quite theatrical. The theater is fun.
I'm just messing with you.
The theater is fun. It's theater.
I was just wanting to start the game aggressively. Again, going back to the matchups that we had with them previously, I felt like they were the team that kind of like set the tone with the level of aggression and I guess the level of intention to start the game. And I just wanted to make sure that I was doing my part to make sure that we came up with a different level of aggression and to be able to just kind of set the tone and let them know that like it wasn't going to be a night where everything was going to be easy for them or, you know, that they were coming into our house and we just wanted things to be difficult.
And Stewie, for you, I guess just obviously with Leo in the fold and being able to put her out on the floor with lineups with you, with Rebecca Allen, I guess just what did you learn about what your defense is able to do?
Leo didn't have to do that much. Watch this, because Caitlin Clark wasn't playing point guard.
Rumors of a massive financial offer from outside the WNBA have only made the situation even more explosive. If such a move were ever confirmed, it would represent one of the biggest shocks women's basketball has ever seen. But how did everything reach this point? For weeks, fans and analysts have questioned the way Clark has been utilized. Critics have argued that her playmaking responsibilities were reduced, that she was sometimes positioned away from the ball, and that the offensive system did not always maximize the skills that made her one of the most dangerous young stars in basketball. That criticism quickly turned into a much bigger debate. Some supporters began accusing Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White of deliberately limiting Clark's influence. Others argued that the situation was simply part of coaching decisions, rotations, and the normal adjustments that happen during a professional season.
To Miami. They play there for 6 weeks, and it was just announced recently that Unrivaled struck a television deal with TNT. Now, this exclusive media rights deal is reported to be 45 plus primetime games. TNT Sports are also invested in the league, and sources say that it's a 6-year deal that could be worth more than $100 million. So a lot of the details of this television deal have not been revealed just yet, but there was one unconfirmed report that said that all of this money might not be guaranteed to Unrivaled and that they do have viewership goals for this first season and seasons to come. If that is true, then that's something to keep in mind when we talk about the offer that might be given to Caitlin Clark. Now, this is also interesting to me because I feel like it is kind of late in the game to start recruiting Caitlin Clark. The Unrivaled League has 26 of their 30 players already, and they have been announcing players for the past 3 months. And there has been speculation throughout the entire WNBA season if Caitlin Clark would be joined.
Either way, the controversy continued to grow, and every possession involving Clark became heavily analyzed. Then came the reports that changed the conversation completely. Breanna Stewart and Napheesa Collier, two of the biggest names associated with the Unrivaled Basketball League, have reportedly been paying close attention to the situation. The league has already created an alternative platform for elite women's basketball players, and the idea of Clark becoming involved would instantly generate enormous attention. According to unconfirmed reports, Clark was presented with a huge financial opportunity that could potentially include major guarantees and an expanded role. Some versions of the story have even claimed that the offer would give Clark greater control over how she plays and how her offensive abilities are used. If those reports are accurate, this would be far more than a simple contract decision. It would be a statement.
Fever. So I don't want to give a damn. I don't want to hear nothing about her missing them 2 damn free throws. Let's finish reading the tweets. Sick of this, man. Sick of this. Time and time again, we got to go through this. Ryan Loves Ball stated, Stephanie White is just anxious. Is just an atrocious coach. She has the best show on the planet, starting at point guard. And yet, we have to watch this boring motion offense trip. Caitlin basically has to force her looks since the set offense is to take the ball out of her hands. I didn't even want to speak about forcing shots. She forced shots against Dallas. She forced them again tonight. Caitlin Clark is a rhythmic player. She has to get in rhythm to play, to shoot well. And we ain't going to go over Caitlin points yet. I don't even know. I don't even remember how many damn points she got. I'm just so freaking mad. Shout out to Mar. Mar stated, when has this type of basketball ever won anything? You have the best point guard on the team acting like a shooting guard. Why in the hell are you playing the game the opposing team wants to play? And if you're going to play her at the 2, why aren't you drawing up plays for her? Because they're drawing up plays for Kelsey Mitchell. Live Wire stated, I'm annoyed. 2 games back-to-back. Stephanie White runs the offense, and the Fevers look like ish. Stagnant. Sets. No good screens. No push. Just ish. What product are y'all selling here? Why is CC not running the day?
Clark has become one of the most recognizable figures in women's basketball, and any decision involving her future would have consequences far beyond one team. Her shooting range, passing ability, popularity, and massive fan following have made her one of the most commercially valuable players in the sport. And that is exactly why the rumors have created so much chaos. The controversy became even louder after Stewart and Collier were reportedly asked about the situation. Their involvement immediately fueled speculation that the Unrivaled League could be preparing to make an aggressive move for one of basketball's biggest stars. Social media exploded.
The sheer amount of money that she's making these teams, people are having to move their venues when she comes to play, and she's getting paid like $75,000 a year. She should be one of the top paid players in the world just for the sheer numbers that she's bringing. And I'm glad that a WNBA player is finally saying this out loud, admitting to it, because it has been so clear for so many people the Caitlin Clark effect that she has had on the WNBA this season. We have talked about it so much on this channel. She has raised overall viewership. Like Napheesa said, they're changing venues just to accommodate all the fans who want to come watch Caitlin Clark play. The list goes on, but there have been so many players, coaches, media personality who have been so afraid to just admit the fact that Caitlin Clark has been the sole reason for so many of these things happening this season in the WNBA. And so I'm really glad that Napheesa, being confident enough in herself, knowing that she is arguably the best player in the world, she is able to say these things out loud. However, I do think that this push for Caitlin Clark has come a little bit late in the game. I want to compare what were the rumblings that we're hearing about the offer that Unrivaled will make to Caitlin. I want to compare that to what Ice Cube offered Caitlin before the Big 3 season began. I commend Ice Cube because you have to think about the type of egos that play in the Big 3. And I do sideline reporting for the Big 3 for those of you who don't know, so I'm very well.
Fans began debating whether Clark should remain with the Fever, explore another opportunity, or use her enormous influence to help reshape the women's basketball landscape. Supporters argued that she deserves an offensive system built around her strengths, while critics pushed back against the idea that every coaching decision should be interpreted as personal conflict. Meanwhile, the pressure surrounding Stephanie White continued to increase. Every rotation became a talking point. Every possession became another debate. Every time Clark moved away from the ball, fans questioned why she wasn't initiating the offense. And every time she received the ball and created something spectacular, the argument became even louder. That is what makes this situation so fascinating.
league, I feel like it was a missed opportunity. 3-on-3 is already hard to get more people involved in. You're doing a brand new kind of 3-on-3 on a shorter court. It's brand new. It's going to be hard to get eyeballs on it. All of these, I mean, the WNBA is in their 28th season and it's still a new league. Like, it's hard to get the kind of virality, viewership, all the things that you want right off the bat. And especially if you don't have a big name or a big draw, you know, I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. I think Caitlin was that person that they absolutely needed. So do I think Caitlin Clark should join Unrivaled? I'm not so sure. I think that the money needs to be high. It needs to be in the millions. It needs to be at least what Cube offered her for the big three at minimum. And even with that, Caitlin Clark doesn't need any money. She has plenty of endorsement deals. I think she is totally fine. And I think for her body and for her mental health, it might not be the best thing for her, because I can only imagine what it was like being in her shoes throughout this entire WNBA season. Not only the kind of physicality and double teams and face guards and all of those things that she was receiving on the court, but also all of the noise, all of the drama, all the media circus surrounding her off the court. That just had to have been so much to handle. And so I don't know if jumping right back into another league that has not been established yet. And for the record, I like Breanna Stewart. I love Napheesa Collier. I don't want this league to fail. I think basketball is great if we have another league. I think if it's similar to the big three and it gives women another place to go instead of going overseas during the offseason, I think that that's fantastic. I hope it does succeed. But I think Caitlin Clark stepping into a league that hasn't been established yet, through the firestorm that she has had to go through in the WNBA, who's to say that once she gets into Unrivaled, all of these narratives, all of these, your fan base is this, all of this starts up again. And who's to say if Unrivaled has a fantastic...
Clark does not need to dominate the ball every second to change a game. Her ability to shoot from deep forces defenders to stretch the floor. Her vision creates opportunities for teammates. Her passing can turn a routine possession into an instant highlight. And when she begins attacking downhill, entire defensive schemes can collapse around her. So if the reports of a major offer are eventually confirmed, the real question becomes much bigger than money. Where does Caitlin Clark believe she can have the biggest impact? Would she remain committed to the WNBA and the Indiana Fever? Could another league realistically convince her to leave? Or is all of this simply another massive rumor created by the enormous attention surrounding her? For now, there are still important questions that remain unanswered. There has been no need to treat every viral claim as fact, and fans should wait for official confirmation before believing the most dramatic versions of the story.